In this video we're introducing the concept of energy. Now there isn't actually a specific learning outcome covered in this video, but it's important to get a kind of background idea. So what do we actually mean by energy first of all? Well, in actual fact that's really quite a difficult question to answer succinctly at this stage. But what is a lot easier is to recognise energy in everyday situations and to give the what we call the stores of energy different names. So for example, we need energy to do things. We need energy to do work. To me that really just replaces one word with another. But maybe more recognisable, things that are moving have energy. The sun supplies a lot of energy for us. So we can start to give these what we call energy stores names. So for example, moving objects, and the correct name for that is kinetic energy. And some of these energies we'll define as we go through the course in a bit more detail, others we simply mention by name. Atoms have kinetic energy. We've studied this in first year, we'll study it again next year. But that's given a special name that we call that average kinetic energy. It's called temperature, but the total kinetic energy of all the atoms is called heat energy. So we'll give it once again a specific name. Sound is really just the movement of air molecules, but once again we give it a separate name, sound energy. And light energy is a name given to actually all parts of the electromagnetic spectrum, not just the visible part. So we call them light energy. Energy can be stored as well, so these first ones that we're talking about there are what we call action energies. The one that's kind of missing from there is electrical energy as well. When our electrons, moving charges, have kinetic energy, then we call that electrical energy. For stored energy though, the main type of stored energy we'll look at is gravitational potential stored energy. Potential is really just another word for stored. And because it's the only type of potential energy we'll look at in detail in this course, it's often just called potential energy. But it should really be called gravitational potential energy, it's its full name. Other stores of energy, other types of potential energy, chemical potential, electrical energy is an action energy, nuclear energy, another one I don't know if it gets mentioned here, is elastic energy. It doesn't quite get a mention here, when you stretch something and you've got a store of energy because of that. But if something has energy either because of movement or because it's stored in some way, it has the ability to do work. So it kind of replaces to me energy by another word, work. I don't think it actually moves us on, but knowing about these different names of energy is quite useful. And in particular, looking at what happens if we come across some particular situations from everyday life where energy is transferred from one type to another. So, for instance, if you're skiing downhill, can you recognise which type of energy is involved? So you're starting with the gravitational potential, okay, and let's say that's often abbreviated just to potential energy, and because you're skiing downhill, you're gaining kinetic energy, so we say the energy transfer there is from potential to kinetic. Similar sorts of ideas. So a light is plugged in, so it starts with electrical energy and produces light. Okay, this is solar cells here. So they're starting with a light energy and producing electricity from it. So you might see these around in some roofs. This is an electric motor. I don't know if that's that clear to you, but it's a picture of an electric motor. So it converts electrical energy into movement, into kinetic energy. A battery has chemicals in it and it causes electrical energy in a circuit. It produces electrical energy in a circuit. So we get chemical to electrical energy. This wind turbine, it has kinetic energy. The moving wind causes it to spin, and that is used to produce electricity. So we get electrical energy out. A loudspeaker has to be plugged in, so it converts electrical energy into sound, or it has to be battery operated as well, but it needs an electrical source. And lastly, by a process of elimination, we have an example here of more than one type of energy, which is actually true in most of these cases if we looked in a bit more detail, but it's kind of obvious in this case that when you burn a candle, chemical energy is converted into light and heat. So that gives you an introduction to the kind of main types of energy that you need to know about, the main stores of energy, and also recognising the conversions that take place in these everyday situations.